Peter H. Gunter, and I'd like to welcome you to this edition of the talk show that everybody's talking about, Firing Squad. Today on our show, we're going to be taking a hard, fast, penetrating photojournalistic look at the American family. But not just any American family, no. We're going to be taking a hard, fast, penetrating photojournalistic look at a typical American family. Yes, typical American family in a typical American home, in a typical American neighborhood, just like yours. But before we continue, let me warn you that some of the scenes you are about to see are extremely graphic in nature. Yes, some of these scenes may shock you. Some of these scenes may disturb you. Yes, some of these scenes may even interest you. So let me take this opportunity to tell you that if there are any small children, or particularly immature individuals of any age whatsoever in the room at this moment, I'd like you to take this opportunity to urge them to go away. With that being said, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce someone who my producer has assured me is an expert in the American family. So I'd like to take this opportunity to urge you to take the opportunity to extend a warm round of applause to that expert on the American family, Mr. Boot. As I was telling our studio audience, we've got quite an interesting and unique show lined up today. Hey! Yes, Mr. Boot.
Who cut your hair?
My hair? Why a barber cut my hair, Mr. Boot? Why do you ask?
Oh, nothing.
Well, as I was telling our studio audience, we're going to be taking a hard, fast, penetrating photojournalistic look at the American family.
What? Is this home movies again?
Why, no, Mr. Boot. This isn't home movies. This is a hard, fast, and penetrating look at the American family.
Good, because I hate home movies.
Look, Mr. Boot, perhaps our audience would appreciate it if we would restrict our commentary to the American family.
Okay, Pete.
So, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and roll that film?
Oh, goody.
To you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Madeline. Happy birthday to you.
Tiger Butt. That little suit reminds me of the one that David had, that little blue one.
Yeah.
Baby can't figure it out either.
That's pretty straight.
Check out
Okay,
that.
Annie, sit like Froggy.
And now, as an expert in the American family, I turn to you, Mr. Boot. If you had just one word to describe what you've just witnessed, what would that one word be?
One word?
Yes, Mr. Boot, one word.
Boring?
No, Mr. Boot, that's not quite the word I had in mind. But perhaps what we should do now is roll the following footage, where I think you'll see some less subtle aberrations in this American family's behavior.
Dull?
What do you want to see, Bill?
I want to see James Bond.
Why is this blinking here? I know the battery's charged up.
Peter, could you move a little bit?
Show it's not like the other day.
Oh,
I didn't
tell you to get up.
that's not
Now.
nice.
Get up.
Is it?
It may not go in one piece.
Sorry. Let me take this opportunity to pause and introduce to you one of the exciting, innovative new shows that you can see only here on cable station 131B. This is Paul Gunter, and I'd like you to join me on Paulie Gunteri's bodybuilding and cooking show. This is a show where I show you how to cook some wonderful Italian dishes and build up your beautiful body all at the same time. I know what you're thinking, bodybuilding and cooking, that is a stupid idea. But let me explain to you my completely unique philosophy of bodybuilding and cooking. Now, how do you think old Italian women get so tough? That comes from years upon years of picking up pans full of pasta. I mean, you should check out the shoulders of my grandma, forget about it. So now I never pick up a pot, I never pick up a pan without doing at least 15 or 20 repetitions. Hey, I know what you're thinking. Hey, that's great for the biceps, maybe the triceps. But what about the deltoids? What about the pectorals? What about the gluteus maximus? Hey, we've got workouts for every major muscle group of your body. You got the muscle, I got the menu. So join me next week when we do linguine with clam sauce and give the neck a great workout. Hey, Charlie, give me a close-up on this neck. You only get a definition like that by picking up pasta in a good solid steel pot. You know why the French are wimps? They go around picking up soufflés in aluminum flatware. Why, Charlie, don't interrupt. Look, I was Mr. Universe All-Brooklyn Regional Semifinal, so don't tell me to put a rap on it. Anyway, I was just about finished, so join me, Paulie Gunter on Paulie Gunteri's bodybuilding and cooking show. Until then, ciao. Charlie, don't ever do that to me again. Man, what am I doing? This is a stupid idea. Let's face it, Charlie. It was you. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. And now I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce another, and I might say much more knowledgeable, authority on the American family. Now, some of you may know this authority on the American family, and some of you may not. So now I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage our studio audience to extend a warm round of applause for Mrs. Boot. Now, don't be shy. You have such a nice disposition. Ooh, thank you. Now, as I was telling your mate, Mr. Boot, I think we've uncovered some rather unorthodox practices in child rearing. You did? Yes. And I'd now like to direct your attention to the following footage. Okay.
There you go.
And it's just this sort of scene that I uncovered through my own force of will and incredible video journalistic persistence. And I don't mind telling you that I encountered hostility, resentment, and incredible resistance every step of the way. And I'll show you just what I was up against in this exclusive video journalistic montage. On the door. Come on, tell on here, let's see.
I bet you wake the baby.
Okay, Peter. Here's the lap.
Well, what did you think of that?
Hiya! Hey!
Mr. Boot, what are you doing back here? And what are you doing with my good tie?
Like it?
Yes, I like it. That's why I bought it.
Now don't be stingy!
While I discuss this matter with my associate, why don't we pause now for a word from one of our many, many, many corporate sponsors, Q-Tel Records.
It's the Big Q here, and I'm here to bring you the deal of a lifetime. Petey Gunter sings the songs that will make him famous. Now here's one that's sure to be a winner. Petey Gunter sings a doggy named Rick.
Let me tell you about my doggy named Rick. He's the best in the world, he never gets sick. I found him on the street near my home. Took him up, I washed him up, I gave him a bone.
Hey, that's some kind of rhythm, isn't it? We've got 6, count them 6, brand new songs here, all copywritten material that only Petey can sing by law. Hey, and here's one I bet you've never heard before, Antelope Girls.
What
the talent. Very best of Petey Gunter in over 3 concert settings. So if you order now, 1-800-620-0200, I'll throw in this very, very, very special bonus offer. Petey Gunter goes electric. Wow, isn't that amazing? But that's not all. If you order now, 1-800-620-0800, you get Petey Gunter singing the songs of old Spanish Morocco. A grateful fighter. Now don't you forget, you got Petey playing 6 brand new copywritten songs. You got Petey Goes Electric, you got Petey on the drums, you got Petey plays the songs of Spanish Morocco. And did I happen to mention that old favorite? Petey plays a doggy named Rick. We loved each other in our own special way. We took off on Thursday or Sunday. I'm so sad I had nothing to say. So call now, 1-800-020-2000. And hey, if you don't like the music, I've got some very beautiful watches for you. I've got Timex, I've got Gucci, I've even got Cartier. Hey, I've also got some very beautiful car radios, cameras, and television sets. So call now, 1-800-020-2000. And remember what the Big Q always says. It's not just a deal, it's a steal.
Well, as I've shown you, I was fought tooth and nails every step of the way. But my persistence was finally paid off. When I returned to this family, several months later, I found no evidence of the kind of abuses that I had witnessed earlier. When I returned, I found the family participating in healthy, safe, time-worn rituals. It was all very heartening, wasn't it? Mr. Boot? Mr. Boot?
What? What?
Mr. Boot, you were sleeping.
No! I was thinking.
Mr. Boot, you've missed the entire point of this video journalistic essay, haven't you?
Oh! Was there a point?
Yes, there was a point, Mr. Boot. You see, by subjecting this family to the public eye, I think we have reversed some very unhealthy trends. You see, by subjecting them to the public eye, I think this is not just any American family now, no, but this is a typical American family. Yes, and I can safely say that I think my role in subjecting this family to the public eye was responsible, in some perhaps not so small measure, for their ascent into typicality.
Bullshit!
Why, bless you, Mr. Boot.
Thank you!
With that being said, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you to join us again for another edition of the talk show that so many people are talking about, Firing Squad. This is Peter Gunter saying so long and goodbye. Have a nice day, and here's hoping that your news is the kind of news that you'll always look forward to hearing all about. Give me that tie.
Hey! Get off! Hey.